A thin ripple slid through the still air, crossing the room like a secret. In the glow of sigil light, Emsky's eyes betrayed him, pupils dilating and contracting, as if something older watched from behind. The faint luminescence beneath his skin throbbed, answering an unseen pulse. Emsky. Soft. Barely a whisper. It's not just the glyph. Something else is here, inside me. His heartbeat stuttered. Close to the ribs, the skin shivered, a shadow crawling at the edges of that living light. The movement was wrong, too precise, like an animal feeling its way in a house that did not belong to it. A voice, layered and distant, threaded through Emsky's thoughts. It was not fully sound, more like a pattern of breaths folded into speech. Entité voix fin, layered. Host bound to us. Pathway secured. Waiting for the signal. Air left Emsky in a sharp gasp. He clutched at his chest as if he might hold himself together. Emsky panicked. Who are you? The room shifted. Edges blurred and stretched. The lamp's light liquefied into a heavy mist. Pressure gathered, not outside him but behind his eyes, pressing on memory and marrow alike. Images poured in places he had never seen, faces made of weather, thoughts that tasted like metal and ocean. Super A concerned, stepping forward. Emsky, what's happening? Talk to me. He tried to answer, but the presence was no single voice. It came in layers, in hunger and patience, in a patience that felt like roots exploring stone. His own mind echoed with foreign feelings, ancestral and alien at once. Emsky, shouting, shaking. It's not the glyph anymore. It's something else. I can feel it. It's trying to get out. The last word cracked like glass. For a breath, everything stilled, waiting for whether the thing inside would curl back into silence or push and find a way. Inside Emsky's mind, an alien tide surges, a flood of thoughts that are not his, pressing and fracturing memory like waves against stone. The pressure turns a whisper into a command, a presence knitting itself to bone and breath. The signal has begun. You are the vessel. It calls, prepare. The entity's words are not heard so much as felt, a chorus of cold keys striking his skull. The sigil beneath his skin flares, a wildfire of pale light that twists ugly and unfamiliar. Emsky arches, hands clawing at his sides, as if the thing inside him reaches outward through muscle and marrow. No, stop! He gasps, raw and breaking. I don't want this. I don't want to be this. Super A lunges, fingers stretching toward him, but the air between them snaps like live wire. The space hums with storm energy. Every breath tastes of ozone and iron. Super A's voice cuts through the chaos, half command, half plea. Emsky, fight it. You're stronger than this. Emsky's eyes flicker, slipping between here and somewhere darker, a presence coiling in the edges of his vision. He whispers, terrified and small, I don't know how to fight it. It's in me, it won't leave. Vistral stands back, measured and chillingly calm. He watches with narrowed eyes, weighing what he sees like a scholar reading a dangerous text. It was never meant to be controlled, Vistral says quietly. You're a host to something older, something far more dangerous. Emsky's fists curl, knuckles whitening, body trembling. He pleads, voice raw, I didn't choose this. I never asked for this. Vistral's expression softens only a degree before hardening again. None of us choose the power we carry. Learn to control it, or it will control you. The warning hangs, heavy and inevitable. As the alien light beneath Emsky's skin continues to writhe, a hush falls. The room hangs between breath and thunder. Every heartbeat feels like a drum. Super A's jaw is set, but his eyes flicker with something raw, fear braided with resolve. He leans toward Emsky, who trembles, the sigil beneath his skin pulsing like a caged storm. Super A, gritting his teeth. Emsky, listen to me. I'm going to do something to force it out, but it's going to hurt. You have to trust me. Emsky's voice is thin, a thread stretched nearly to breaking. Emsky, voice shaking, panicked. No, don't. If you do that, I'll die. Super A determined. You won't die. But if we don't stop it, you will lose yourself. He clamps his teeth shut. A man racing against seconds. The sigil beneath Emsky's skin flares, black, blue, and alive, grappling with whatever foreign will has nested there. Super A breathes deep, steadying the storm inside himself as much as the one he faces. Then he moves. Both hands find Emsky's shoulders. A shockwave cracks the air, tiny motes of light and dust suspended in a humming pressure. Super A shouts for hold, a brittle command wrapped in hope. Super, a shouting, forceful. Hold on. I'm doing this now. Emsky convulses. The sigils writhe, like lightning drawn along veins. Pain rips from him, honest and terrible. Emsky, screaming. A, please, I can't. Super A pushes every shard of power through his palms. Purple arcs bloom, searing the space between them. A crackling force wraps around Emsky, an attempt to wrench the presence free. The room threatens to tear at the seams as raw energy bangs against flesh and will. Emsky screaming in agony. I can't stop it, I can't. All hangs on that strain. A dangerous hope. A sacrifice that might save or break them both. Inside Emsky's mind, two forces collide. Super A drives a relentless light outward, trying to pry a presence free. Inside, something answers, not an echo but a sentience rising, defiant and cold. A chorus of voices threads together, jagged, urgent. Host, reject, reclaim, they chant, each syllable scraping the edges of his will. Emsky fights, but panic tightens in his chest. He whispers, barely audible, I can't fight it. Super A strains against the push, his face braided with effort, every muscle burning as he holds the tether. Sweat beads and slides, hands trembling, refusing to release the force that might save him. The sigils on Emsky's skin twist like living glass. Black lines quake and spider, then fracture with a sound that shatters even resolve. The pressure snaps through them and through both men. Emsky arches, reaching for something solid, and finds only air. You have to fight it, Emsky. Super A shouts, voice raw. Focus, you're stronger than this, don't let it take you. Emsky can only gasp. I'm losing myself. It's too much. Energy answers with a violent recoil. Light fractures into a shockwave that rips the room apart. Metal buckles, walls split, instruments tumble in the blast. Super A and Emsky are torn backward, thrown into debris and silence. Emsky lies limp, his skin still pulsing with fading luminescence. The sigils have stilled for now. He asks, voice small, Emsky? Emsky blinks and whispers, it's still here. I can feel it, waiting. Smoke drifts through the room. The blast bowed the walls and left a silence that trembles. Super A kneels by Emsky, propping him against cracked plaster. His hand shakes as adrenaline fades and fear settles. Super A, soft, urgent. Stay with me, Emsky. Just breathe. Don't let it pull you under. Emsky's eyes are half open, unfocused, a faint inner glow pulsing. He presses a hand to his forehead. Emsky, weak. It's whispering. It won't stop. Vistral moves through haze, composed as if the ruin were theater. Hands folded behind his back, his silhouette is elegant, almost detached. A cold glimmer catches at his eyes. Vistral, quietly. You can't keep fighting it this way. Not with brute force. Not with will alone. Super A snaps. Protective. Super, a snapping. Then what? You think you can do better? Vistral's smile is small, controlled, unreadable. He crouches beside Emsky, lowering himself into the fractured light. Vistral, soft, almost gentle. I've studied powers like this for years. I know what it is and what it wants. I know how to silence it. Emsky stiffens, breath-catching. Emsky whisper, You know what it is? Vistral's gaze never leaves him. He lays one hand on Emsky's knee, touch featherlight, grounding and intimate. Vistral, calm, honest in the worst way. I can help you gain control, but not for free. Super A's shoulders tighten, jaw set. Super A growling. What do you want? Vistral regards them both with the patience of someone who has read the end of the book. Vistral, I want access to the entity, to its consciousness, to whatever lies behind it. Silence folds back in, heavier an offer, a threat, a hinge. Outside, rain begins to fall, each drop hammering the roof like unanswered questions, and the corridor waits patiently. Emsky clutches his chest as a sickly light coils beneath his skin. He looks between Super A and Vistral. Torn, exhausted, afraid. Emsky weak. If he really can help me, if he can stop this thing from tearing me apart. Super A grabs his shoulder, firm. Super A. Urgent. Emsky. Don't. People like him don't offer help, they lay traps. Vistral's face remains cold, unreadable. Vistral, flat. I'm offering survival. What you choose to call it is your own bias. The glow under Emsky's skin pulses, an alien heartbeat, and the air tastes of iron and rain. Memory shadows flicker at the edges of his mind, old laughter and the scream that began this change. The whisper comes then, a silk-thin voice braided with hunger. Vistral, cool, final. Your life is no longer your own, but with my guidance, you might reclaim it. The alternative is letting it grow unchecked, and we've all seen what that leads to. Emsky flinches. The whisper circles his name, entity faint overlapping. Accept. Merge mine. He closes his eyes. Two hands pull at him. Super A's, warm and pleading. Vistral's, precise and inevitable. Each touch is a promise and a risk. He feels fear like weight, and choice like a blade. Emsky barely audible. If I don't take control, I won't survive. Super A's composure cracks, fragile and human. Super A quiet desperity. Emsky, please. Vistral extends a hand, calm as a crossroads. Vistral, simple, without pressure. Choose. Emsky opens his eyes, they burn brighter now, feverish with need. For a single breath he balances on the rim between surrender and seizing what he is. The moment stretches, volcanic, intimate. He reaches. Emsky's gaze locks on Vistral's outstretched hand, torn, trembling. The fingers like a pale invitation. Super A watches the hesitation as a predator watches a twitching prey. In that small silence, something inside him shatters. His jaw tightens. He steps forward, arms sliding around Emsky as if to become a living shield. Low and dangerous, he says the single word that ends the argument before it begins. No, you don't get to touch him. Vistral does not withdraw. His hand remains, composed and cool. Murmuring, he says that emotion clouds judgment, and that Super A's is blinding. Before the sentence finishes, instinct detonates. Super A moves a blur of force and fury. A fist ignites with raw energy, light warping the air. He screams, "Get away from him!" The blow lands like a thunderbolt. The impact detonates dust and tile. The floor fractures in jagged lines. Vistral spins into a ruined pillar, stone shattering around him. For a heartbeat, the world tastes of kicked-up dust and ringing alarm. Vistral pushes free, coat flecked with dust, a dent in his armor, a cut at his lip. He looks almost bored as he straightens, voice cold and measured. That was impulsive. Super A plants himself in front of Emsky, fists raised, every muscle carved from tension. "I'll put you through the floor," he growls. Emsky watches through blurred vision, fear for what his protector might become, not for the man who raised a hand. He whispers, "S. Super A, stop, don't please." The chamber waits, charged and uncertain, breath caught between two choices. Close on Vistral's face. His features are composed, but his eyes narrow, a crack in the calm. He leans forward. "Vistral, quiet, dangerous. You have no idea what you're interfering with. He won't last without guidance. Not yours, not anyone's unless they understand what's inside him." Super A raises his fists higher. Super A, firm, shaking with emotion. "He doesn't need you. He has us. He has me." Vistral tilts his head, pitying. "Vistral, and what good will your devotion do when the entity consumes him entirely?" A sudden intake of breath, Emsky gasps. His body convulses as pale light leaks from his skin. Sigils along his ribs twitch and bloom like waking flowers. A hollow voice echoes from within. Entity voice, echoing, strained. Conflict, fuel, open. Emsky claws weakly at his chest. Emsky, panicked whisper. "No, not again." Super A whirls back, terrified. Super A, Emsky. Even Vistral's eyes widen at the timing. The air thickens. Power hums and snaps between them. Emsky curls in, glow intensifying. Edges of reality warping. Super A drops to his knees, torn between shielding his friend and standing against Vistral. Vistral remains at the edge of the light, calm, calculating. Vistral, soft, almost triumphant. You see? His time is running out. Every second you delay choosing, you push him closer to losing himself. Super A's jaw tightens. Fury and fear collide. Super A, through gritted teeth, "Don't you dare use him as leverage." Vistral's eyes glint. Vistral, "Then stop interfering, and let me save him." Silence thins. The sigils pulse, waiting.